much more basic than we've been led to believe. When we're plugged into the media so much, as most people are now, we are led to believe that we need so many different things than we actually do. You know, our basic needs are to have connection with other people or beings, you know, to feel connected to the earth, to have food, to have water, to have air, to be able to move, to have somewhere safe to sleep. You know, they're our basic needs. You know, most of the things that people are believing that they need are just things that the control wants us to believe that we need, because then we'll be spending lots of money on things that they want to sell us, and keeping ourselves deeply within the system, because if we've got to buy all these things, then we have to work and we have to earn it all, instead of realising that we're the only creatures on the planet that Mother Nature isn't providing for, because we're not allowing her to. You know, like this whole place would have food sources, like natural food sources available. And like we've gone to the point where we want to, you know, we rely on having foods that aren't even grown in the country that we're in automatically. You know, we can be in Poland or England or whatever and expecting to have our pineapples and our coconuts and everything. You know, all of this is so normal to us now that in general we don't question any of it. And we don't question the impact all of these things have on our health. I don't really mean the pineapples and coconuts, I mean more the processed foods with those kind of things. But I just think in general, when people are living in the so-called normal world, there's so much that we don't question. We take it for granted because everybody around us is having their caffeine fixes 4 or 5 times a day, or their sugar fixes goodness knows how many times a day, you know, because everybody is eating processed, manufactured foods. Most people don't question the wisdom of doing this. They don't realise the effects that the different foods are having on their bodies, especially like heavy carbs, like the wheat and like the sugars and everything really are like drugs, and dairy products particularly we've found to be like that.
And it's very difficult, this message, because we just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to know that it's actually an issue, you know. But like this age that's coming up is the age of being aware, it's the age of enlightenment, of where we are aware of what's going on, where we see the truth, you know. I don't know how much they'll get on this, because the noise, basically this camera cuts off when it's a certain level quiet, you know, like it'll only pick up things that are loud enough, sort of thing. We'll have to see how it works.
Keep talking.
So we've accepted a lot of stuff. We've accepted a lot of things down our history.
I feel like for us, we're on a slow process of trying to come back to what feels like a more true centre.
What matters, yeah.
You know, it's like at the moment, obviously, you know, like I've just cut up a load of food into here, you know, it's into a plastic container, which I don't really like. You know, I'm eating it with a titanium spark, mainly because that's lightweight. But it's like these things aren't really as I would wish them to be, but it's I feel like it's all a process for all of us, like our wisdom, our awareness, our unfolding, whether we're tied very deeply into the system or whether we're trying to extricate ourselves from it. It's a journey for all of us, and you know, we're at where we are on it. There'll be people that are much further along that journey than us, and other people that don't even realise there's a journey to make, or maybe don't even need to. So, you know, anything that we share is just trying to share the awareness that we've had, in the hope that maybe people can take something from it if they need to, or whatever they need. You know, if people actually feel the need to point at others and ridicule and laugh, then that's where they're at, and that's all right as well. We're all on our paths, we're all on our journeys, and I genuinely believe that we're all doing the absolute best we can on those journeys. We did an audio recording just earlier about what we'd gone through yesterday, and part of that was about the road that we walked down, unbeknownst to us at the time. Like, it's actually one of the main routes from Varna to Sofia in Bulgaria. Yeah. And in every lay-by, there was a prostitute, you know, just sort of sat there on her car tyres and a cushion. And guys were just coming along, picking her up, driving down a little side road, doing whatever they do, and dropping her back off again. And that, you know, I didn't enjoy that, obviously. You know, I feel for all of them. I feel for the girls, I feel for the guys as well, you know, and I find it deeply sad. I find it sad that, you know, one of the girls we walked past particularly, you know, the others had been on the other side of the road, but like this one girl, she just looked really drugged up, like she wasn't even where she was at. And who could blame her? You know, if you're having to do things with, you know, 10 or 20 blokes every night, then who wants to be there? You know, who wants to be present and awake with their life experience? You can't blame people for wanting not to be there. But I just feel like while these things are still happening, then it's an issue for all of us. It's, you know, those girls...
It shows that something's not right in the
was
system.
Somebody's precious little girl, or those men were somebody's precious little boy. Or maybe they weren't, you know, maybe they were abused when they were children. And all of this really needs healing. Yeah. We wouldn't see what we see in the world around us if these splits and hurts weren't going on within us as well.
I feel like, you know, it can seem negative, like bringing up these topics and stuff, but the thing is that we need to be able to see what's actually going on. Like, I don't feel, it doesn't make me feel negative, it makes me feel positive, like, right, okay, let's do a video, let's speak about stuff, let's, you know, because it feels worse, the idea of things going on and us not seeing it and not wanting to help, you know, the world be a better place, you know. That feels worse to me. You know, I'd rather be, I want to know what's really going on, you know.
Bury our heads in the sand. You know, so many people are only bothered about their little bubble. You know, my world's all right, so I'm not going to care about any of the rest of it. But the thing is, you never know when that world is going to encroach upon your little bubble. Or you never know when somebody's going to come along, take over your country and decide to pop all your little bubbles. So it matters. The state of the world is having an impact on all of us, whether we choose to take any notice of that or not, really. And the more of us who do choose to take notice of it and try and make positive changes within our own inner world, within the outer world, within the whole, it's a very valuable path. And whatever anybody does to help that path, however big, however small, is really needed, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I hope in some way that the things that we share, I mean, our videos, they're not going to be polished, they're not going to be a list of notes written down for what we should cover, because this isn't a professional workshop. And this is our life, you know, like we're living our lives, and we're just trying to share it in as true and honest a way as we can, in the hope that maybe somebody gets something from it.
The system, it goes on and on, you know, the round and round every day system, it just keeps going, you know, the work is never done. And these sayings like the devil makes work for idle hands, you know, like we're trying to spend some time outside of it to truly you know, what's real, you know, let's see the nature, let's see the sky, let's get away from what human has constructed and try and figure out, does it mean anything, you know, all the questions about it, and feel, what do we feel in here, what do we feel in our heart with masses.
There's that saying, isn't there, I can't remember quite what it is, but that idea that you can't solve a problem from within it. You know, like if you're completely caught within this construct, you can't even see the construct, you can't see what's going on. If you're living in it every day of your life, you can't see it, but if you come outside of it for a while and look in, you can become much more aware of what's happening. You can see it more clearly because you get perspective.
Because that's what's my concern most with what I personally need to get out there, is about the construct, about the mindset that we're all being pushed into with this system, you know, and that this is an external thing and an internal thing that's going on, you know, it's an inside job, it's a Trojan horse as well, you know, it's beings that are affecting us inside, or the energy around areas in which we live affects us, you know, if there's prostitution going on, if there's drug use going on in the house below you, you know. Most humans are sensitive, it's just we've got so much other stuff affecting us, we're not aware that we're affected by someone downstairs or whatever, or by this that we've eaten, or by, you know, you really need to be able to clean your system, get centered, get grounded, breathe, find your truth, to be able to actually know what's doing what in your life, you know. And actually being able to step into your own power and get strong, that will make you make really good choices in your life and take you down different timelines and different paths, you know. It's like we're really wanting to change the timelines now, and everyone on the planet step into their own power so that we can really create the world in which our spirit wants to create, rather than the unconscious fears or the programs from the archonic entities, you know, or the scripts of the artificial intelligence or whatever's going on that's affecting people here. But what we do know is the system, all the system ever does is drain you, you know, like, yes, you
One
can,
way or another.
You can get something from it, you know, like, for instance, going to college and doing an arts course, you know, like, you're going into the system and you're getting slightly drained from it, but you're getting something back, because you're getting to do a little bit of art, you know.
Something positive as
But
well.
the ultimate goal is to be living from your higher truth, you know, and you're
following
not
whatever your soul has wanted to do,
which is dynamic. Our souls are dynamic. They we would shift and change based on what we feel we need at any given moment. That's with the mind, and the stuff that the other energies have created is this idea of time and, you know, future and things, and things we're trying to achieve and create. You know, there's nothing wrong with an achievement, but what we need to realise is that to not get lost in the achievement so much that we lose who we are and we lose our centre and our grounding, because the ultimate goal at the moment, because humans aren't well, the ultimate goal is to actually get grounded and get centred and be able to master our energy field, master being alive, you know, master the energy of what we're channeling, and be our truth,
actually
be ourselves.
Being aware of the energy as well, because you know, for most of us, I know I lived my life totally unconscious of the energetic impact, really, of other people or of myself on others. You know, it's only really in the time that we've been healing that we've been more aware of these things, isn't it? So it's like even just becoming aware of how aware we actually are, all of us. You know, we've all had the experience of walking into a room and feeling uncomfortable, or, you know, or the opposite. You know, if you walk into a place where people are uplifted, you know, if you do a group meditation, you can often get better results than when you're doing something by yourself, because there's a shared intention and it lifts the energy. So the awareness of the energy in and around us, I think, needs to get a lot stronger in general, because then that will change how we do things on the earth. It will change how we treat all the other creatures that we share this space with. If you become aware of the energy that is still stored in food things. You know, for example, if you are eating a chicken that never got to see the daylight, was just squashed in a really sharp, miserable life and then taken to the slaughterhouse, you're going to feel those things. Maybe, well, if you're numb, that you won't as yet, but when you start becoming more aware, you notice the difference in vibrations, you notice the difference in foods, you notice the difference in how an animal has been treated before it's been killed. Like our landlord, he shoots pheasant, and you know, I'm not saying that's right either, but the difference in a creature that has just lived its life wild, is there pecking at the grass and then suddenly it's dead, is different than an animal that has lived in a small cage its whole life, that has been fattened up, has had no personal power, has had no choice to go where it wants to eat what it wants to, and then has had a very traumatic experience going through the slaughter system. The energetic difference in the flesh of those two creatures is massive. It really is a very different thing, as is if there's respect for the creatures as well. So there's so much to be learnt in this life. There really is, if you want to, you know, if you choose to. And if you don't, that's okay as well, because a lot of people who really don't want to look around them or feel is because they've been very badly hurt, and that they're not ready at that moment to start realising that. Because this is, like as I said before, it's a path for all of us, and wherever we are on it, and we've had whatever experiences that we have, and I just feel that the path is easier to walk if we share, you know, if we learn from each other, if we learn with each other, if we help each other, because I do truly believe that we are all in this together, and that is what we're meant to do. We're meant to bring what we can to each other, and bring our energy to each other and our love to each other, to help us all pass the things that are holding us back and that are stopping us from bringing what we really did want to the earth. I think I'm about done. I put pepper in with yours, I didn't eat any of that. I try and stay away from all of the nightshade family because they don't work very well with me. I've done other videos about that at other times, so I won't really go into that. So like when I do a mixture for us, I'll put some of that in, but I'll put it up into bigger pieces and leave it at the side so I can avoid it, and then Riki can mix it in and have it because he's not too bad with them.
A bit my thing. I'm hoping this picks up stuff, but
oh well, we'll find out.
A little bit unsure.
You might be saved from all of this yet.
No? Natural food. You always feel uplifted, and it's like a rather than a pulling down.
So much plastic though, isn't there? You know, all these plastic bags and everything. That is a bit harder when you're travelling, because obviously you don't have as much choice over where you buy things. You know, I mean, when we're in the place that we're renting at the moment in the UK, there's a farm shop nearby, we can use that. We can choose not to use bags, although they have paper bags anyway, so it feels a bit better.
This is like another thing about being out, like you start to realise it, or you go, oh my god, like there's so much plastic, you know. This is the waking up of humanity. It's like, this is what's happening to us. We're going, hang on, you know, like,
and it's needed for the planet, it really is.
Yeah, because when we're aware, we go, well, I don't want to do that. I want to, you know, I don't want much plastic. So then you go, well, okay, let's try and do things a different way. We'll take the bag back to the grocery store again and use the bag second time, you know. Like, it's us that needs to change. It's not, we can go around changing all this stuff in the outside world, but we need to change the way we see things and the way we live. You know, it's a global awakening that's needed.
I'm hoping this doesn't look terrible, me throwing bits of food into there, but I really do think it's a good thing to do because it gives other creatures other nutrition and everything. But we definitely don't throw away the plastic or any of the like stuff that doesn't break down.
We'll see how this video is. Cheers.
Thanks for listening, if you did.